You can't change it. This is the situation that you're in, dog. I kid you not. My whole body language changed. You can't remember where I'm at now. I'm at my employment. I'm
Yep.
at my employer. I can't say fuck this shit. Like it's going on in my head, but everything in my head saying, nah, fuck this shit, dog. Fuck this shit. So I walk over to the new area where I'm supposed to be sitting at, bruh. It's basically half of the size that I have, only one desk. They got me and my man, my homie, like in this little smaller office. Bro, I'm talking as soon as I walk in there, I just shake my head. I look at my dog and I said, nah, fuck this. I'm not doing this. So I look at him. I finished taking all my stuff over there and I looked at him. And what do you think I proceeded to say?
I'm out.
I said, I'm not working. I'm not working in this. I said, I will see you at the beginning of the new year. I'm going to figure this out. I'm not working. I'm not working in this. So I went home. Of course, I get a message later. Yo, knock knock. I didn't see you at the team meeting. Like, what's good with you? It's from my boss now. So one thing about me is I don't really like crying over spilled milk, especially in a situation like this where it's like, yo, we're you know what I'm saying? Like, we cannot change it. The person who's already moved into this desk has already moved into this desk. As soon as he sat down, he said, yo, this is a nice ass desk. Oh, I got so tight. I got so tight. And the dude who moved into that desk, he a cool dude too. You know, the homie. So it's like, now I'm looking at him. He can tell I'm tight. Man, I went on. Somebody bossed me up. Yo, I didn't see you. Like, everything all right? And I just messaged her back. So now, like, as I messaged her back, I'm talking to her, but I'm more so talking to me because ultimately this is my fault. I know this is my fault. So I said, you know what? I was like, yeah, I was there until the quote unquote, I literally in quotations put the move. And then I left after the quote unquote move. And I was like, then my next sentence was, if I would have known this move was a real thing, no, I was like, I'm actually really upset with myself because if I would have known this move was a real thing, I would have told you that I am adamantly against moving. Like I don't want to move at all.
Oof. You said that?
Yes, word for word, bar for bar. Then I said, but there's nothing we can do now. The desk is gone. It is what it is. Then I
Mm.
was then I was like, it seems. Oh, my last sentence in this was, it seems like me getting over shit is a recent getting over stuff is a recent trend lately. Ha ha ha.
Oh no, you went full
I'm
Dwight
tight.
Schrute. You mega
I'm
desk.
tight. I'm tight. I'm tight. So then I don't know why when people get that, they all of a sudden want to meet. Yo, let's let's connect. Let's chat it through. What do you
Yeah.
think I said?
No.
I said, "There's no need to cry over spilled milk." I said, I literally said,
Oh.
I said, "There's no need to cry over spilled milk. That desk is dead." And I said that desk is completely gone. Someone's taking it. We don't need to kick a horse while it's down.
And what did they say to that?
They sent a meeting invite.
Yep.
So now I'm about
Yep.
to go to the meeting, and I'm not gonna know what to say because I'm gonna say I'm gonna repeat it almost what I said because I'm not. It's not like I got no. How do I say this? I'm not. Am I annoyed by it to the utmost T? But what the fuck am I going to do about it? Am I going to sit here and have like she was trying to bring folks close together? That's
Yep.
not my working. That's not my working style. That's so
So
like.
how are you going to navigate this? Are you going to be like, I'm just disappointed because I lost mega desk? I lost half my footprint, or
Oh, well, that's what I'm gonna start out with, and then I'm gonna break it down to the why, and then I'm gonna say, really, this new space I don't feel comfortable with at all. Like I don't feel comfortable working here, like at all. And then I'm gonna get asked the why, and I'm gonna say
yep.
I lost all peace of mind. Like I cannot have a peace of mind working here. Too accessible, too much foot traffic, too many people can see me and stop. Too many people will see me and stop and ask questions, and I do not want that.
Ah, so now we're talking. So we need to split this. How does this move affect your productivity? And that's it. That's what I was trying to get at.
No,
You got it. You
yep.
got it.
So, oh no, I kind of. Oh no, there was a sentence I left out in that when I was talking to her in that initial message. I did say after I said the recent trend thing, I said it's okay though because when I was saying like it's okay, I'm gonna get over it. I said it's okay, I'm gonna get over it. I'm just not working at that desk for the foreseeable future, for sure, before the end of the new year. That I said that.
Oh,
That
and
I'm,
now, okay, now I understand. That's a very big piece of information. That's why you got a meeting invite.
yeah. I don't know how I forgot that. No, I totally like I'm not
Yeah,
working.
that's where the meeting invite came from.
Yeah, but like,
Okay,
but I'm like standing on that. I'm not working at that desk, and my old desk is taken. So if I don't feel comfortable working at that desk, and my old desk is taken, where you work from where I feel comfortable. Tell me, am I crazy? Am I justified? Because really, I'm not really. I'm more. I'm more upset at myself for not raising my hand and saying, "Yo, I don't want to move. What are we going to do about it?" I thought it was going to be one of those things going to get swept under the rug.
I think you're tripping a little bit. Like that. That's just. I mean, especially where you've worked before, like moving was just a thing.
Yeah, but I'm speaking through past traumas of being in. We have worked together. You have seen where they have put my desk and it's at a location where I never get left alone.
Yes. Now that is a real concern. That's what I would lead with. Like, hey, I've done this before. My productivity fell. I started working long hours because I couldn't work at work, and that affected.
But that's essentially really why.
Yeah.
That's my beef. Because when I tell you, I'm talking about my old desk was such a perfect setup. People wouldn't even know if I'm in the office, because if I sat down and you couldn't see over, because I'm talking about like on the front part of the desk was like an even like taller little thing. So it's like standing desk plus like a little guardrail. So it's like if I was like you could see me if I was standing up, but if I was sitting down, you had to like make the effort to walk back there to see if I'm there or not.
And that's why that's the real genesis of the move. They're like, man, he got it too good. He ain't been here long enough to have it that good.
So, listen, pray for me, because come Thursday, I know I'm not going to get in there and say nothing crazy, because that's also the reason why I left. I am very self-aware, and my words do sting, and I don't mean them to. I'm just very direct with words. Like you're gonna know exactly how I feel when I say it. So that's why, like, as soon as like when I felt this overwhelming feeling of fuck this, that's when I knew I had to leave. That's when I knew I had to leave.
So what time is the meeting on Thursday?
It's like 11 a.m. Oh, here's another thing. This like I had a team meeting right after this move. So I was gonna walk into this team meeting when we were celebrating somebody's birthday with the energy that I had. Nah, it would have been worse. Like it would have been bad, because I would have been in there. I would have been in there tight as hell. Everyone singing happy birthday. I'm just sitting there with the I eat ass face.
The what? The what face?
The I eat ass face. They keep from the Kevin Hart special. You're gonna sit there, just like they singing happy birthday. I'm there like,
I don't have this guy to eat an ass, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 126 of Speak on It.
Speak on it, ladies and gentlemen. You already know. When you see the bro with the fro here with the smoothest bald head on the East Coast, it could only be Speak on It is in the building.
You can't say I have the smoothest bald head after saying the I eat ass face 45 seconds
First
earlier.
off, that came from that's from the Kevin Hart
special. I don't care who it's from.
Oh, that's hate. That's hate. Why are you trying to stunt my creativity and my comedic genius? That's hate. That's hate.
Maybe.
Listen, I got a lot of. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're listening, there's gonna be a lot of hate in this episode. A lot of hate in this episode. I got a lot of salt and a lot of hate. Let me start off by saying this: a fantasy loss by less than a point, for some reason, this season has become a real thing. I have a total of 6 fantasy losses this year. No shit. 8 fantasy losses this year by 3 or less points across 9 leagues.
That's heartbreaking. So oh my God.
Last night, ladies and gentlemen, I was in a league, my second most expensive league. All I had to do was win, and I was in. I'm up 125.9 to 124.7 for 59.5 minutes of the Dolphins and Titans. Guess what play I lost the game on?
Tell us.
The second to last play of the Dolphins game, when Tua threw that ball to Devon Achane and he caught it on that screen. before the fourth down.
Terrible.
I lost the game 126.3 to 125.9.
That's heartbreaking.
I no, after the game, I literally was everyone in the chat was like OMFG WTF. All I could say was wow. Because that's all at this wow. Wow. Now, let me tell you, this season, the losses that have really bothered me and stuck with me have been the complete blowouts. The complete because I'm like, what the fuck? Because there's like really nothing I could do. Really
Yeah.
the point, the ones by 3 or less, that's the fantasy guy telling me this ain't the year, boss. But the ones by like 20 or less, or 20 or more, or something like that, there's a clear blowout. I'm just looking at my team like, you motherfuckers suck.
Really? For me, it's
Yeah.
the opposite. Like the blowout, I can say it's just not my week, but the 1 point, the 2 point losses, it's like, oh, because it's usually just one guy, right? If I had started this guy over that guy, I would have won.
But see, I look at it differently because I look at it as like losing a game on a 3. Like, game has been tied. This game's been close the entire way. You just lose on some shit. Kyle, for example, what's up, Kyle? Kyle beat me 3 weeks ago off of TJ Hawkinson catching a touchdown pass in the second half of the game. I ended up losing by like maybe like by a point, less than a point. Same thing. It's like if you're gonna lose it like that to where you were always in the game and you can always say, "Damn, if this would have happened, it could have went the other way." I get tight losing by like 30 or more because it's like, yo, I could have done all the tricks. I could have formulated, thought through all the lineups, and this is how y'all come out here and perform.
I mean,
what the fuck?
I feel like that because I get comfort knowing that there's nothing I could have done. I get tight knowing, oh man, if I started Curtis Samuel instead of, I don't know, JSN, I would have won. Like that's the thing that gets me.
Yeah, maybe just contrasting thoughts. It's I get tight thinking about it. I don't know. It's just me though. I'm gonna start by saying this though. I'm gonna start by saying this. Last year, I was in 6 leagues, made the playoffs, and I believe like 4 or 5 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in 6 leagues, made the playoffs in 5 of them. The 6th league was the work league that I didn't make the playoffs in. After last night, I was sitting up. I'm a little tight after the outcome of that Dolphins Titans game, but I'm just reevaluating all my fantasy lineups. This was a year that I tried the most fantasy leagues in my life at 9.
Jesus.
So I'm just thinking about all my leagues last night, and I said, okay, I am fantasy competent enough to be able to handle 9 leagues. I don't think I'm the best GM I can be handling 9 leagues. So I started going through. So I started going through my list of leagues, saying, "All right, which one's getting cut? What do you think number 1 on that list is?"
The Superflex League. That's gone.
Try again.
The Work League.
The fucking Work League. The Work League. Duns. I'm not participating in this shit again. Last year, the league was bad. This year, the league was really bad. Like to the point where I was like, "Yo, this league stinks." Like. We stink. Not just like we as a collective league, we stink. I don't think we're serious enough fantasy players where I'm going to devote money to this. So next year, I'm going to respectfully just bow out. When they send out the link, I'm just never going to sign up.
Yeah, you say that now.
No, I'm serious because next year I want to really focus in and just focus in on a couple of leagues. So that league out of here. Second league, to your point, as mentioned, will be that Superflex League. So letting the world know, if you happen to be listening, you're in that Superflex League and you make the playoffs. If you win it, you are going to have bragging rights for life because that will be the only Superflex 12-team league I'm bringing back.
We'll talk about it later. Very tight about that league. I'm very upset.
You won 10 games and do not get a bye.
No, I won 10 games, and my quarterbacks are Justin Herbert and Smith.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about it later. Yeah, you got it right to be tight.
Tight.
Yeah. So I'm out of that. We blowing that league up. We're sending that one to somewhere.
To the scrap heap.
Yeah, we not bringing that one back. Remember my cousin's league that I told you about? The one that I
Vaguely.
won it, the one that I won way back in the day. I had a
Yes.
dynasty.
Yes.
So thinking about it again, I'm leaving that league after this year too. And I'm in the playoffs. I'm in the playoffs. I want to win it, and I'm just right off in the sunset.
Okay.
Because the more I thought about it, I like this league. I just don't know if I want to stay it. I don't know if if they up. I would say this: if they up the buy-in, I might consider staying, but I don't think they will. So it's not really worth it. And then what's the other one? Oh, and then I'm in 9, so that's getting me down to about 6 because I'm leaving those 3 leagues. I think I got a difficult decision because I want an odd number.
What's so special about an odd number?
Well, that way on a week-to-week basis, when I do my wins and losses, it'll always be an odd number.
Okay. You'll know if you're a winner or okay. I respect that.
Yeah.
No
I told you
16-game season for you.
Yeah, no. I need to know if I'm a winner or not. So I don't know, but here's the thing. Of those 6 leagues, I commissioned 2 of them, the redraft and the dynasty league. So those stay because they're 2 good leagues. No one wants to leave them, although some people
the dynasty league's leaving.
No, the Superflex league is leaving.
Oh yeah, Superflex. You're talking about yes, I got you.
Yep. Of the 6 leagues I have left, obviously we have the redraft league, which is a winner. People like that league, so we're keeping it. The dynasty league's a winner. We're going to be keeping that one.
Tight.
So now I got 4 leagues left. I got my man's 12-team league that I just rejoined this year, but I've joined it, then left the next year, joined it, then left last year. Then I've joined it again. I told my man I'm gonna stay in it this time because he's in all my league. It's Jordan. I'm in all his leagues. Okay. He's in my leagues. I'm in his. I got it.
How is he as a commish? Because let me tell you,
he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Was getting dragged through the mud in our Superflex league, and he gonna fuck around and win it.
Yeah, I know. He's doing. He's a pretty good. My only beef with him is that he still uses divisions, which I think after this year, in a league he's cutting divisions because he just won 11 games and doesn't have a bye. And then his second thing is, which is my beef with him, he uses points for us as like tiebreakers for playoff seasons. I hate that. I hate
wins losses.
I'm always for wins losses. But
that was a very intense. That's been an intense conversation in your redraft league that I'm in. It's been all season.
Yeah, I'm always going to be for wins and losses because we're in the business of winning and losing football games. So I'm not going to reward you because you lost with a lot of points. I'd rather win the guy who won with no points or barely any points. Just me though. So I got to think about it. So I can't leave my man's league. There's my league with my college homies that I am determined to win before I die. So I got to stay in. Got to stay in that one.
Got some time.
There's the league last night. That I lost because of the Titans Dolphins games. That's a 12-team Superflex Dynasty league. Ooh. In which my roster right now consists of Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Tua, and Patrick Mahomes. Those are my top 4. We finished 7-7, as you can imagine, largely due to Patrick Mahomes' underwhelming season, which is okay because I was able to garner with the league. And now the Booty Bowl, the Toilet Bowl, as some people call it, the winner of the Toilet Bowl gets the 2nd overall pick now. First overall pick goes to worst record in the league. 2nd overall pick goes to the winner of the Booty Bowl.
Very interesting.
And then draft picks from then on out are determined by your placing in the league.
And as a reminder, for our Dynasty League, whoever wins the Booty Bowl gets the 1st overall pick, right?
Yep, it's all determined by the Booty Bowl. So
Marvin Harrison Jr., congratulations. You're going to be on Ronald Isley's tax returns.
Got to get there first. And we're going to talk about that league later because I hope my man Bam comes. It's interesting now. So yeah, we got this Superflex league that the roster is so good that I don't want to leave this roster because I can win a championship with this league. Like, simply put, for this league, I literally might follow the same route that the Kansas City Chiefs I think are going to go in the offseason. I'm trying to win this Booty Bowl tournament so I can take whatever wide receiver the Chiefs take in the first round so that I can pair him with Patrick Mahomes. I think it's going to be Keon Coleman, hopefully, but who knows? Who the fuck knows? And then my last league is my most expensive league, but that's the league that I won last year. It's the keeper league. I won it last year, and I made it into the playoffs this year with a losing record. So I can't leave this league because I have a chance to defend my crown. And if I do, you think I'm gonna leave a league where I'm back-to-back champions? With Patrick Mahomes is my quarterback in this one. He's one of my keepers. CD Lamb and Patrick Mahomes are my keepers, and I might keep them again next year too. So I'm at a place now where the 6 leagues I have are like 6 leagues that I really enjoy, really like.
So either join 7 or drop 1.
Right. Or stay with 6.
No.
Which is where I was kind of where I was last year. I just dropped the work league and added a Superflex Dynasty League. So more to come there, but I can tell y'all right now, no more 9-team leagues for me. If anything, if I can get it to 5, that would be amazing. So
Cal's in like 45 leagues.
Yeah, no, Cal's a monster. So Kyle said, I like using the total points as the first tiebreaker if the teams have the same win and loss record. Kumgwa was good. He says, love to see 2 black brothers try. Since we're here talking about fantasy football, Danny, before we maybe dive deeper into that, let's talk some real football, my brother. It was NFL Week 14. Start us off on Thursday from last week.
You want to talk about that? Let's say this. That game was terrible. Moving on.
Nah, hold on. Listen, this is the only thing I'm going to say. Jeff Bezos, when you go buy things for billions and billions of dollars, sometimes factor in that sometimes they might put the Patriots and the Steelers in prime time on your network.
On your network.
And now you got to have Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit try to hype up a game between the Steelers and the Patriots. That was one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life. And I didn't even watch a single minute of it. I watched like the first drive, and I was like, you know what? Nah, I deserve better than this. So I stopped. You know it's a bad game when you get a notification that Ezekiel Elliott has scored a touchdown, and you're genuinely surprised on why you're getting a notification that Ezekiel Elliott is scoring a touchdown, and then you remember you started Ezekiel Elliott in fantasy. That's how bad that game was. I didn't even remember about it. It's bad. All right, let's get to the games on Sundays then. Let's get to the games on Sunday.
All right, you want to start NFC South?
Let's start at the NFC South.
The worst division in all of football. But the games are fun. The game's actually good. So Tampa Bay with the losing record, 6-7. They are on top of the NFC South. Does Derek Carr get healthy enough to bring the Saints back, or do the Falcons take control?
Derek Carr, he won't be healthy until he stops playing football because that guy is out there taking beatings. And the Falcons, I don't think the Falcons are consistent enough to win that division. So where does that leave me? You guessed it, people. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to three-peat this division. Funny enough, with Baker Mayfield at the helm, I think they are probably the most consistent team in a very, very bad division that I think the Bucs are actually going to end up taking the NFC South. And my hope is that, well, no, because the Cowboys or the Eagles are likely going to have that 5th seed. But if one of them slip up, boy.
I said at the beginning of the year, the Falcons win the NFC South. I'm sticking to it. I'm doubling down. Derek Carr won't stay healthy until his brother stops being a racist on TV. So maybe that'll help.
What? That's a stray he caught for no reason.
Who? David Carr? Have you been listening to things David Carr been saying?
Give me a hint.
So David Carr essentially was saying Jalen Hurts can't read a defense. And for those of you who don't know, that is the biggest dog whistle of all time that's used for black quarterbacks. Meanwhile, his brother's out here getting slaughtered and his center is cussing him out on the field in the first quarter.
Why he got to be slaughtered?
Does Derek Carr not look slaughtered to you?
Nah, Derek Carr be out there taking some shots that I just like flinch. I'd be like, God damn. No, listen, I'm with you. I don't know if the Saints are going to be able to keep him healthy. My problem with the Falcons is how can you offensively trust them enough that you think they're going to be able to do something?
It seems like Arthur Smith has figured out, man, maybe Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts and Drake London are good at this. Hey, Desmond, get them the ball.
But not every team is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Dog, did you see? And when Desmond Ritter threw that pass to Bijan and flat and threw it over his head, I was like, "Yeah, I'm losing in every fantasy league this week." Did you watch? Did you watch Red Zone Sunday? Do you know what pass I'm referring to? Like Bijan was wide open, and Desmond just threw that joint over his head.
Hey, do you know how funny it is in life? I mean, in fantasy football, when you just watching a player and you just like, "Yep, I'm gonna be losing this week. I might as well just."
And the second one, the Panthers and Bucks game. Jonathan Mingo was running a post at the end of the second quarter, wide open, and Bryce Young overthrew him because I had to start Jonathan Mingo, and I was like, "Yeah, it's a wrap. We are done here. We are cooked.
We're done here. We're cooked." Another hilarious stink fest of a game. What about the Vikings and the Raiders 3-0 game?
So the funny thing about that was Red Zone went to it a couple times, and you could just hear it in the announcer's voice, like they were trying to make it sound interesting, and they had nothing. Like Josh Dobbs got benched, and they're just trying to pull something. Man, how can we make this sound interesting? Oh, we haven't seen a score like this since segregation. Wow, this is great.
Yeah, listen, ladies and gentlemen, anytime a broadcast brings up any statistic that hasn't been relevant since the days of segregation, you need to change the channel. They're playing
Jim Crow was playing football the last time we had a game that low scored.
I saw someone say that the more Josh Dobbs plays, the worse he gets, and that's why he'll be a forever backup quarterback. And I thought about that, and I said, that's actually very right.
The clock is at midnight. Like, you get benched. Who is the Vikings' third string quarterback?
Nick Mullins.
Nick Mullins. I didn't even know Nick Mullins was still in the league. Speaking of which, I did not know Jimmy Graham was still in the league until Sunday. Like, I saw him on the sideline and he caught a touchdown. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. What I thought was I'll tell you this. In that second quarter, when he threw that hospital ball to Justin Jefferson, I was watching and I said, he can't have much longer throwing footballs. Someone in the front office said, no, not to Justin Jefferson, you're not.
It's funny because we've been saying, man, Josh Dobbs is playing great. Wait till he get Justin Jefferson and sent that man to the hospital with a chest.
Send him right back. Yo, it's listen, I'm not gonna say it. All I know is y'all didn't hear Tom Brady when he said the QB has to protect wide receivers too.
Hey, Peyton Manning was out there applauding because Austin Collie probably has the most intense case of CTE thanks to Peyton.
You heard about that?
How hard did you laugh at the Bills Chiefs ending? Because I cackled.
I listen. At first, I was tight because I was tight because Patrick Mahomes is my fantasy quarterback, so I was a little tight at that. But then I took a step back from a fantasy POV and thought about like the actual event that happened. I couldn't stop laughing. First off, Kadarius Toney, you are so offsides that you might as well be lining up in press coverage trying to guard somebody. You are very much offsides. 2, the left tackle was offside. So somebody was going to get flagged regardless.
Somebody was getting flagged regardless.
Now, I understand what they're saying. A lot of offensive players are saying, if you're going to call that flag, don't even let the play go off so they can reset, throw the 5-yard penalty. Like, I understand that. But that's a penalty.
That's a penalty.
Now, that's a penalty. Now, the even funnier part is y'all thought Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid got up there and was upset at the officials. No. Y'all are reading it wrong. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes was up there yelling at Kadarius Toney through the refs because they want him balling in Shanghai with the Shanghai Sharks after that game. They are fed up. Don't read these headlines saying the Chiefs are behind Kadarius Toney. They are not.
They are not.
They know, though, if they dump on him now, who the hell is going to catch balls for them going forward? Pause. They don't got a lot of options. They invested into this offense, so they got to keep investing into this offense. But Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they were so fed up with the wide receiver room in Kansas City. Listen, I know Patrick Mahomes at some point this season, if he hasn't already, has went to the front office and said, yo, all y'all giving me is a 35-year-old tight end and a bunch of fast, twitchy dudes who don't catch the ball.
You gave me some track stars.
It's almost like there's a wide receiver that they could have that they could have. Fastest wide receiver out here. A matchup nightmare that they could have, you know what I mean?
Crazy how that works. All I'll say
Crazy.
is this. They're complaining about a call that cost them a game.
Oh my God. Here he go.
Here we go.
Here
When
he
you
go.
when you won a Super Bowl off
y'all
a ticky-tack
disgusting
call.
me. Y'all
You just won a Super Bowl off a very ticky-tacky call. So
one would say they were going to score regardless.
But Jalen would have got the ball back. That's the thing.
Okay.
Because that was a stop. They would have had to kick the field goal, and Jalen would have got the ball back with a little over a minute to go.
Let it go.
I will not let it go. I have let it go. I just think
actually, after watching y'all's defense, I could see why you wouldn't let that go.
I think it's just funny how he's complaining that a ref cost them a game on something that seems small when he just won a Super Bowl because of the same thing. Like he's just on the other side of the coin. That's all. It's okay, Patrick. They'll make it up to you. And in the AFC Championship game, when you're running down the sideline and he does that thing, he toes the sideline, and then when someone comes and touches him, he flails and he gets the extra 15 yards. Don't worry. They'll make it up to you, Patrick. It's okay. It'll be all right.
The Eagles are offsides most of the time that they run the tush push.
It doesn't matter. They still get it.
But they're offsides most of the time that they run it.
I don't see any evidence that backs that.
I bet you don't. Yeah, I bet you don't.
I don't see any evidence
that y'all run a tush push the game on the line, they throw that flag. Yeah, they're gonna be some thoughts. They're gonna be some think pieces.
Hey,
they're gonna be calling them refs all type of racist.
It's just, but don't worry, Patrick. When you're in Baltimore in the AFC Championship game and you overthrow Travis Kelce, they'll call pass interference even though it wasn't a catchable ball. It'll be okay.
I will say this. That is the first game that I think Patrick Mahomes has been on the opposite side of the refs.
Yeah. His whole career has been based off him getting a very fortunate
That's not
call.
true. That's not true.
The game last year that sent him to the Super Bowl.
Actually, no.
He was towing the sideline.
Nah, because remember, I'm gonna take that statement back because Brady beat him a few times because of the refs. He beat him one time because of the refs.
Yeah, but I'm saying last year they made it to the Super Bowl because he scrambled, he towed the sideline. Was against the Bills. The dude pulled up, but still touched
Bengals.
The who?
The Bengals. It was against the Bengals.
Yeah, it was against the Bengals. Yeah, guy pulled up, but he still touched Patrick. He flails. He gets the flag, and that puts him in field goal range. They go.
That was still a flag, though. That was still a flag, though.
But it wasn't. No, that's the Patrick special.
But that's a flag.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Because other quarterbacks you can try to spin it any way you want, brother. That's
don't get flag. Like let that be Jalen. Jalen wouldn't get that flag,
brother. That's a flag.
Lamar Jackson wouldn't get that flag.
Well, that's
Josh
a flag.
Allen wouldn't get that flag.
I'm not here to say who does and doesn't get flags. I'm here to tell you that was a flag. Just like that pass interference in the Super Bowl was a flag. Just like that offsides on Sunday was a flag.
Don't worry, Patrick. They'll make it up to you. It'll be okay.
What about the other nasty and hilarious finishes in the NFL? Let's just quick hit them and let's just get some thoughts out there. Lions losing to the Bears.
And y'all thought the Lions were gonna get the 1 seed. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, Lions, y'all.
Fuck out of here.
I guess I can't say nothing.
Cute story. It's over.
What about the Colts losing to the Bengals?
Hilarious. I was a little bit shocked, but
Cincy fans, listen. Don't get your hopes up. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. If you get your hopes up behind Jake Browning, you're gonna be upset at that game. And when I say that game, it's gonna be the game. It's gonna be the game where you are for sure like we're gonna win this game. Where he comes out there and shits the bed. Jags losing to the Browns with Trevor Lawrence.
The Browns have the best defense in football. I really wasn't that shocked. So a fun stat, the Browns have the most wins against teams with winning records in the NFL. They're 6-3. I wasn't that shocked.
What does that tell you?
The Browns were good and that the nasty man should have never been there.
No, the Browns are good. Yes. I don't know about the line on the nasty man. I was getting ready to say that the Browns, what was telling me is that defense travels because the Browns aren't the most offensively led team, but it's hard to score on them. They're good at all aspects on defense. They're really, really sound. So I think the Browns are going to be a tough out, and I don't know when the next time they play Baltimore, but I could definitely see Baltimore and Cleveland being the two that really fight for that AFC North title. This is the funniest one, or one of the funniest ones. Texans losing to the Jets.
CJ Stroud got a concussion. I feel like if you're a Texans fan, so CJ got hurt, but you let the Jets drop 30 on you.
Here's my thing. Any at this point in Zach Wilson's career, any game where he comes out and people are like, and people are making a headline about no or lack of turnovers, doesn't really say a lot about your defense. Somebody had a rough day. CJ Stroud, hope you get healthy soon, brother. Hope you're not out soon. But man, seems like the Texans they got out hot, but injuries are starting to pile up. Last one from last night. The Dolphins losing to the Titans, who, mind you, had not won a road game all season long.
Did you see the stat about, I think it's team since 2016 who
up,
have been
up by 14 with less than 3 minutes to go. Only one team had lost.
767-1.
Only one team. It's what had me cackling is, do you remember after they scored that late touchdown to go up, they was cheering like, this game over.
Yes.
Wrap. Done it up. Go back to Tennessee. Then their defense said, no. Let me hold my beer real quick.
Will Levis let that hard ER out, and boy, oh boy, he turned it around.
Listen, Will Levis last week yelled greatness in DeAndre Hopkins this week. That's all I'm gonna say.
That was funny, him hollering at DeAndre.
But you know what? When Peyton and Eli was talking about it, I kind of understand why he was yelling at him, because he thought he was running a run route. D-Hop ran another one, so he went D-Hop. Yo, you can't just change up the route like that. Like it totally makes sense when you give some context of why you'd be getting yelled at. Because now on the sideline, like, yeah, if I'm the quarterback, I'm gonna yell at my man too. Like, you can't just switch up the route like that.
Do you think DeAndre Hopkins appreciated Will Levis hollering at him like that?
I mean, in the moment, he's probably, the fuck are you talking to? But I feel like when he thought about it, he was like, nah, he probably took some onus on it. Like, yeah, nah, I shouldn't have done that. Danny, this next segment is going to be tough for both of us. I think when we made the notes and I put this on here, I didn't even think there would be a need for 2 ISOs.
Here we are
after last night's Monday night game, but we're going to start Sunday night, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
we're going to call a full ISO as Danny unpacks the Cowboys versus the Eagles. Before you go, I'm going to give a few of my thoughts.
Okay.
2 weeks ago, or last week, I came in here and said, I think the 49ers may have given out the blueprint on how to beat y'all, but I don't know. Dallas is going to let me know. And you said, maybe, but we still got a good team too. I said, all right, I hope you're right. Brother, let me tell you something. Your best friend a month ago is your worst enemy Sunday night. Y'all was scoring all them points, so it didn't matter if your defense may have given up some late, nasty looking touchdowns. But when y'all don't score all them points,
it's disgusting.
It's nasty.
Now, I would like to add a little bit of context. Not that this is an excuse.
ISO, it's all you, brother.
But the 49ers and the Cowboys had 10 days rest before they played the Eagles. Just a little context. Like they had too many buys. Not to say that would have changed.
I'm not rolling. I'm not rolling. Nope. Sorry. It's the NFL, buddy. You knew the schedule.
I'm just saying, like, if the Eagles had 10 days to prepare, maybe they would look a little different.
The Cowboys also had 2 back-to-back Thursday night games too, though.
But that's 7 days rest, so that's still the same amount of rest.
Hey, man.
Anywho, if Jalen,
we all get a Monday night game, we all get a Thursday night game. So you know what I mean?
All I'm saying is it's really convenient. But anyway, if Jalen is who we think he is, this shouldn't be a problem. If Jalen, because the Eagles move the ball just fine. It's just turnovers. Jalen fumbled in the red zone. Devontae drops a touchdown. AJ drops that ball. Like Jalen couldn't have handed it to him. AJ fumbles. Devontae fumbles. That's what? You're talking about 5-6 possessions in the red zone that ended in turnovers or missed opportunities. Like I'm not too worried in the offense. I feel like they're going to be able to score points. The thing that's disheartening is where's this pass rush? Like they said Hassan Reddick had 10 sacks Sunday night. I was like, where the fuck you get 10 sacks from? Because I ain't seen him.
He had 10 sacks or 10
Yeah,
pressures?
Sunday night he sacked Dak, and that was his 10th sack of the season. I was like, where he get 10 sacks?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's his 10th sack of the season. I was like, well, I haven't seen the other 9. I remember like 2 others. That's the biggest concern because you just can't be in shootouts all the time. Like you're going to have to stop someone. But I will say, after halftime, the defense looked a lot better. Now, did the Cowboys take their foot off the gas? I doubt it because I feel like they'd want to beat the piss out of Philadelphia. But they went in 26. What was the score at halftime? 24-6? Something like that?
It was something like that.
And what's the final score? 33-13. So, like, the defense figured something out. Listen, man, you lost to the Giants.
When they still went back and scored more points.
They won 24. I think this team is old. I think this gauntlet that they've been through, the toughest stretch of games that any team has gone through, 70s, is catching up to them.
Listen to.
Hey,
we're Eagles. Ladies and gentlemen, what did we say about 15, 20 minutes ago? If they bring up any statistics back from when Jim Crow was alive or when folks is doing crack, trust me, they is lost. This brother is starving for excuses. You kidding?
No. They got to play better, right? Like I'm sorry. That goes without saying. They look terrible the past 2 weeks. They got punched in the mouth by their 2 biggest threats in the NFC, and it might cost them the 1 seed. Which might not be a bad thing, because if you get the 2 seeds, you get the Falcons, and then you get Detroit, and then you get whoever between San Francisco and Dallas. But that's a conversation for another day. Oh no, they 100% got to play better.
Well, I would say this: I wouldn't be so giddy to potentially play. I mean, the Falcons or the Saints or whoever. I wouldn't be so giddy to have to play the Lions. I'll say this about the Lions. Their defense, like y'all's defense, is shaky. I would say their defense is a little less shaky. But I would also say, though, the way they like to run the ball and how they use that to their play action, to those weapons, it wouldn't surprise me if they take Dallas's game plan and just duplicate it. Because I think they have the weapons and the team to do it, and they're aggressive enough. They're just like y'all aggressively, on offense. So
I'd rather have a shootout with Detroit in Detroit than getting stomped out in Dallas.
Okay. So here's the thing. I think no matter where y'all go, it's going to be a shootout because y'all's defense is bad. That's what I'm saying. Y'all's defense is bad. And
I'm saying I'd rather play another team with another terrible defense. Like I'd rather play the Lions who have a terrible defense and just say, well, whoever has the ball last wins. Or I just need 1 turnover compared to a team with a dominant defense like Dallas and San Francisco who can just end it early.
Do you honestly still believe that this Philadelphia team is the contenders that we thought they were?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. They still came back and beat the Chiefs by 10. They still beat the Bills in overtime. They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Cowboys in Philadelphia. The Eagles have the second best record against winning teams. They're 5-2. Yeah. I still think they can win a Super Bowl 100%. That has not changed.
Okay. All right.
That ain't changed.
I got to do a temperature check. See where you at.
And let me tell you something. If they see San Francisco again and Fraud Purdy gets down, it's a wrap.
Y'all gotta. Here's the thing. Y'all gotta stop him first. This is nothing. If y'all cannot, because it's clear that the Niners and the Cowboys, they are confident they can get 1, 2 to 3 stops or turnovers if needed. They feel very confident playing y'all. Detroit, all it takes is an early turnover, and y'all seem to be keen to giving away early turnovers, and then y'all get down by 7 to 10. Now you're in the hole. You know what I'm saying? This is what.
Here's how I look at it. I know if we're down, I have a guy who can bring us back. Who else in the NFC can say that?
Say that again.
If the Eagles are down by 10 or 14, I know I have a quarterback that can put the team on his back and bring the team to victory. Who else in the NFC can say that?
Lions, the Cowboys.
No.
The Niners, low key. The Niners. I feel like the
Brock
Niners
Purdy
don't.
can't play from behind.
We'll see.
Like
Okay.
if you get up on the 49ers and know Brock Purdy got to throw it, I feel like
I'll retract that statement because I haven't seen Brock Purdy play from multiple scores behind. But I feel like the Lions feel that way. I know the Cowboys feel that way. I would go out on a limb and say that.
I know you're not about to say anyone from the NFC South. I know you're not about to say somebody from the NFC South.
No,
I know you're not about to fix your lips and say somebody from the NFC South.
No, not from the NFC South. I'm trying to think of the rest of the NFC.
Exactly.
No, I would say the Lions. I would say the Cowboys feel like if they get down, they can come back. I would say if they make the playoffs, I feel like the Rams are a little confident that Matthew Stafford could at least make it a game. Yes. I don't know if they feel like they could win. But I think those are probably the three those would be the ones that I would trust. So I hear what you're saying.
I'm with you, Kyle. I don't think the Lions are winning the playoff game. I don't think
it wouldn't surprise me. It would depend on their draw.
Yeah,
if Green Bay stays 6, and I'm glad we're here. If Green Bay stays 6, I don't know if Detroit feels as confident that they're just gonna beat us just because they're playing at home.
Can I ask you a question?
What's that?
How? And I meant to text you last night, but I fell asleep. This could happen to the Eagles. They still have to play the Giants twice. How did it feel to lose to Stereotype on national television?
Oh man, we here. Okay, ISO. All right, Kyle, you might as well hop in here, man. We can ISO. We can run the pick and roll on this one. Listen, here's the problem with being a Green Bay Packers fan. There's this thing that they do when they start winning games that you think they're gonna lose. Right? We come out the gate a little shaky. We go down like 3-4 games without winning the game. And then we come back and we start winning some games, right? We start getting momentum. We get the big win versus the Lions in Detroit on Thanksgiving. We come back the next week. We play Kansas City at home in Lambeau, and we beat the defending champs. Dominant win. If you watch that game from start to finish, you could tell the Packers were the better team on the field last night. So then after that many wins in a row, after you're seeing the growth, the performance of this offense, this receivers, the quarterback, you're seeing how the pass rush is getting after people. You're seeing how your back end is covering folks, even without our best cover corner in Jair Alexander. And then you see who on the schedule. You see the New York Football Giants. And you're thinking, oh, this is a get right game. We're gonna go to 7-6. We're gonna play good complementary football. We're gonna run the ball. We're gonna be able to pass the ball. We're gonna be able to get enough stops. This should be a 31-14 game. Here's the problem. When you're a Green Bay Packers fan, it's the games that you're for sure confident that you're going to win, that they go out there and they act inept. It was for the first 30 minutes, it was pure ineptitude on that football field from everybody. It had me thinking for the first 30 minutes, there's not 2 professional football teams on the field right now in MetLife Stadium. This is a joke. But we start to figure it out, right? You see Jordan Love starting to put progressions together. He's starting to read defenses. Now on defense, we're starting to get some stops. We're getting some points. Even though we had been settling for field goals early, we're starting to score some touchdowns. We're starting to feel confident in the team. We get a late touchdown at the end there. Great touchdown catch. And then guess what? One of the worst special teams units in the league this year continues to rear its ugly head. Newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, the Green Bay Packers are the most penalized special team unit in the league. You know what that means? On special teams, they are a liability. Rich Piscata, you're supposed to be the special teams guru. This is supposed to be your bag. Like, that's why we brought you over from the Raiders. You know what I mean? We took you from there after that temporary head coaching thing, because you were a respected voice in the locker room and you knew your special teams. What the fuck is going on? The fuck is going on, bro? Keyshawn Nixon, when you fumble or when you bobble a punt, the last thing on earth you should try to do after you get the ball back is to get up and try to run it with it again. What do we do? They teach that in like Pop Warner. Listen, we are lucky that on this winning streak, we beat the Chiefs and we beat the Lions, and that our strength of schedule record has us still with a chance to control our own destiny to get to the playoffs. I'm not here to say the Green Bay Packers are world beaters. I'm not here to say the Green Bay Packers are going to win the Super Bowl this year. But the football product that was put on the field at MetLife Stadium last night is not reflective or indicative of the football team that I have been seeing for the last month. The last month showed me that when this team is locked in, prepared, and they execute, they are just as good, if not better, than some of the top teams in this conference. We got to do better. We got to do better. We not going into Philadelphia beating nobody playing like that. We're not going to the Bay and beating nobody like that. We're not walking into Dallas and beating nobody like that. And if we walk into Tampa Bay or New Orleans or Atlanta playing like that, it's going to be a real dogfight for no reason.
But you'd still probably win.
I'm not even sure about that because the Falcons beat us earlier, and I still think we should have won that game.
Get healthy, Christian Watson.
Here's what I'll say from earlier this year when we lost to the Falcons versus when we lost to the Giants last night. Kyle kind of spoke to it too. When we had mistakes on offense early in the season, those mistakes, we couldn't really dig out that hole and we were stuck. Last night, I saw that even through the mistakes, Jordan Love is playing through it, and he's still looking to points. I challenge anyone who has seen some of the Packers games. If you've watched the earlier Packers games and you've watched maybe the last 3 or 4 Packers games and you've seen Jordan Love's development in between, it's night and day. The guy's a good quarterback. I'm really excited to see where he continues to take this team. But last night, that just isn't Packer football. That just wasn't Packer football. I was disgusted. I was sitting there in disbelief.
Well, luckily for you, Miami was doing
like this. I couldn't even watch Sopranos last night. I was so disgusted.
Sopranos is hilarious. I know it's a drama, but the Sopranos. Tony Soprano went to his sad lady's house and beat up her husband in front of her. Hilarious. Do you remember that? That man was tweaking and went over there.
Beat the hell out of him too
with a belt like a child.
Because he didn't want to really hurt him because that was her hubby. So he said, "But you know what? I'm gonna teach you a lesson because you acting like a real." And fellas,
remember old girl who had one leg and Tony was like,
"Bro, he
thing still worked."
Yeah,
he loved her.
He loved that girl. And Tony Soprano was a freaky ass boy. Listen, let's talk about the NBA. You see behind me the Mavericks.
They're winning. Brother. They're winning. Without
brother.
Kyrie and Luka on back-to-back run. It's second half of back-to-back. NBA made Luka play tonight. Luka's hurt.
Yeah, 15-point lead for the Mavericks over the Lakers last night. But speaking of the Lakers, ladies and gentlemen, if you did not hear, over the weekend there was an NBA in-season tournament. Kyle, we're going to address that statement later, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, over the weekend there was an NBA in-season tournament, semifinals and finals. So we saw the Pacers beat the Bucks to advance to the finals. We saw the Lakers beat the Pelicans to advance to the finals. The Lakers and Pacers met in the first ever NBA in-season championship tournament game. Real back and forth. I think there's a lot of hype around the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton, and this offense. Ultimately, after a great game, come on, man. We know what the fuck time it is. It's Lake Show time. The Lakers end up coming away with the win, and they are the inaugural NBA in-season champs. So, Danny, few questions here.
Yep.
Before we get to the jokes, let's do a quick hit on some of the more serious stuff.
Yep.
What were your thoughts about the tournament overall? Do you think it was a success for the NBA, or do you think Adam Silver maybe needs to cut his losses while LeBron is riding high right now?
I think it was as successful as it could be. So the in-season tournament's not going to be a thing overnight. This is a year. Like we're talking 5-6 years. Like this is the long haul. So the first year was a success, man. Like, I'm not saying the NBA is rigged. I'm not one of those guys, but this is the best case scenario. LeBron James took this seriously and the Lakers won, right? Like now and I know the LeBron Jordan talk. Like I'm not in that foolishness. But yeah, this is the best case scenario, right? Like your top star, your gatekeeper of the league, your elder statesman won the first ever in-season tournament. I think it was, I don't know what else the league could ask for. And the guy on the other side is a young star on a team in a small market, right? So you got it.
Yep. Here's what I'll say. Adam Silver, we called you a madman. We called you a madman. The world tried to doubt you, Adam Silver. I was open, a little skeptical. I was open. I'm glad I remained open. This was really fun. This is really fun. I saw the intensity. It was clear as day, the intensity between a regular season game like what's being played over my shoulder versus an NBA in-season game.
Yep.
And I'm glad that it really gave a chance for some of these teams like the OKCs, the Indianas of the world, the Pelicans of the world to get some real national spotlight. I think, to your point, it was really best case scenario that LeBron and the Lakers won.
Yeah.
Just because, one, I think now that LeBron's won it, and I think that players around the league see how respected LeBron and the Lakers are being after winning it. I think next year going forward, people are going to want some of that. And on every NBA team, we all have our Supermax players, but we also on every NBA team have guy number 13, 14, 15 on the bench. And I feel like LeBron putting such a vocal emphasis on, I'm trying to win this from my young bulls at the end of the bench who 500,000. That's good money. That's good money. So I'm hyped about that. What about the game itself? Do you think this really puts the Pacers in a national spotlight going forward, particularly in the Eastern Conference?
I think the Pacers are the kings of this year. Like last year, the Kings are making some noise. People started to pay attention, and they got to the playoffs, and they took Curry to 7. I think the same thing with the Pacers, right? Someone on this pod said the Pacers are going to be good this year.
You're right. You said it's got that flow. Let me tell you something. When the Pacers and the Sixers meet in the first round, and that series goes to 7 games for absolutely no reason, we're gonna look back and say this was the year Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers let everyone in the league know.
I'll take it a step further. It'll be Boston. Halliburton versus, you think Boston's too big?
I think Boston's going to be the 1 seed. I think Embiid and the Sixers are going to be like a 2 or 3 seed, and I think the Pacers are going to be like a 6 seed.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're the Lakers, does this championship game give you a little bit momentum as you look ahead to the season? Obviously, they're kind of losing over my shoulder, but
I think it gives you confidence to know that LeBron can still turn it on when LeBron wants to and needs to turn it on, and that's what you really care about.
Yep. I think. Go ahead.
And Anthony Davis too. Like, he's still here. Like he's still in there.
And he's still a dominant player. And when he gets up for games and he shows up, there's not much anyone in this league can do.
Nope.
Not much anyone in this league can do. Here's what I'll say. If I'm the Lakers, I kind of figured this Dallas game was going to happen just after that emotional type of letdown after a game like that in-season championship game was. But I think going forward, I think the Lakers learned a little bit more about how they can win these type of games and that type of intensity. Mind you all, we beat the Pacers and we really only made like 2 or 3 threes. So that means when that 3 ball is not falling and we try to go down low and be dominant in the paint, we can do that. But if you saw that game versus the Pelicans, when that 3 ball was really flying, it's an impossible train to stop. It's just too good. All right, now Danny, we're both about to get some jokes off because as soon as I saw it, I knew you saw it, and I knew you had jokes too. Ladies and gentlemen, it was reported earlier that the Lakers, after winning the NBA in-season tournament, will be hanging a championship banner in the crypto.com arena. Danny, I'm going to let you just take it. Go ahead. What we doing?
First and foremost, I think this is 100% Adam Silver. Like this is definitely coming from him because I don't think Jeannie Buss would allow this to happen. I will say
the thing is, we originally came out and said we are not hanging any banners.
Exactly. Like I think Adam Silver's like no. You hanging this banner. And I'll say, when Adam Silver's time on this planet is over, you seen the meme when Kobe crossing Jesus up in heaven?
What are you trying to say?
He gonna be waiting for Adam at the gates. Hey, dog.
You're like, hey, yo, dog. Oh yeah, Kobe gonna be up there talking about some Adam. We had a standard. We are not these other franchises.
No, we are not the Clippers.
We're not. We're not by any stretch of the imagination. Listen,
are you gonna buy a banner shirt?
Hey yo,
they're gonna have shirts. You gonna buy a shirt?
So you just call me a bitch in front of everybody like this?
No, I just asked if you was gonna buy
you called me a bitch in front of the world, right?
An in-season tournament champ.
Man, I wish like hell I would. Listen, my celebration ended after Saturday when I went to bed. Because when I woke up Sunday, I said, all right, in-season tournament's done. It's time to make an NBA finals run.
Do you think they're going to make special jerseys with the little in-season tournament patch on them?
I swear to God, I might lose my shit. I would lose my shit. That would not on a team led by LeBron. He's got too many.
You don't think so? You don't think they'll get the little do you think they'll add patches on the jersey for the rest of the year?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to look at LeBron and say, if this happens, I'm going to look at LeBron and say, this might be a stain on your legacy, dog. Because this
I don't know if they still do, but I think they do. You know how they put the Larry O'Brien trophy on the back of jerseys of teams that won championships? Do you think they'll add a little, whatever that trophy's called, to the back of the Lakers jersey because they won the?
Yeah, what's up with you? Why you disrespecting my franchise like
you
this?
said we was gonna get these jokes off. We get these jokes off.
Yeah, but your jokes. I don't like you talking these jokes while the Mavericks beating up on my Lakers like this. Matter of fact, hey yo, big deal or no deal? Big deal or no deal? Lakers, no, y'all better not hang up that damn banner, by the way.
Oh boy, when do you hang it up at the All-Star break?
Oh, hang it up at the next holiday meeting or staff meeting because that's where it needs to be hung.
You hang it up the first round of the playoffs, game 1 of the playoffs when you're at home. That's when you drop the banner.
Yo, drop your Addy real quick because I don't like how you talking about my Lakers. I don't like how you talking about my Lakers. I don't like how you talking about my Lakers. Listen, I was easy on them Eagles.
Okay, we're done.
Because y'all see how that energy switch up. Nobody said this when y'all let a brother whose first name is Dakota.
That was painful to watch, man. I went to bed.
So tell me what you gonna do at the NFL awards when Dak Prescott is receiving his MVP honors and they're using that game versus the Eagles in Dallas for like most of his highlight package to really get his game on. And before you finish that sentence, mind you, this will be a night or two before Dak plays Lamar in the Super Bowl.
LOL. I was about to say that'd be cool because that'll be the last award Dak sees because he won't be in the Super Bowl. When's the last time the regular season MVP won the Super Bowl?
Patrick Mahomes last year.
He did it last year. Before that, it was rare though. Listen,
it was rare, but my homie breaks all the rules. So now you got to take that rule and just smash it.
Listen, Dakota can get his MVP honors, and then he can sit in the suite as the Eagles beat whoever the AFC representative is in the Super Bowl.
Y'all keep talking. Listen,
I will.
Nothing would be funnier than the Eagles and the Cowboys meeting in the playoffs.
Nothing. That's like something about the NFC Championship game between the Eagles and Cowboys would break my spirit.
It would warm my heart because I would know that at least one franchise is going to go into the offseason so bitter and so upset. Look at me now. I'm joyous thinking about it. That's how much I hate that.
Let me tell you something, my brother. If the Eagles beat the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game, that the show after is just gonna be me. Like this is I'm gonna get on here early. Show started at 7:30. I'm gonna be on this bitch at 6:45.
I might be there with you getting some laughs.
We flaming.
All I ask is, Dallas, if y'all lose in the playoffs again, do not go out on a play like that shit last time. I can't take an off season to that.
I can.
Speaking of off seasons, how many more weeks does Brendan Staley have left before his off season begins early?
Oh, he's gonna finish the season. Justin Herbert is gone. Whatever. Finish the season. Doesn't matter. 5-7. Who cares? You can still look for a new coach while he's still there. I'm sure he knows they're looking. Yeah, he knows it's over. We know it's a wrap.
Listen, you know who I can definitely see taking over the Chargers after watching the slate of games last night?
Who?
Dan Quinn.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, get him out of Dallas. Yeah, Dan Quinn gonna take the Chargers job.
That's hate. Y'all,
That
y'all,
is that's hate. That is yes.
you acting like your offensive staff is not going to be there.
Who? Ain't nobody hiring
Yours.
Brian Johnson.
Yeah,
I ain't got nothing to worry about. Ain't nobody hiring that man.
Let's talk about the media, right? Let's talk about Zion Williamson. Has the media been bullying this man following that NBA in-season tournament game?
I feel like we can talk about Zion's weight without being disrespectful, and I feel like we're just getting these fat jokes off because his weight it is a point of concern. It is something that has hindered his career. But Stephen A. just calling that man fat. Like, come on, man.
Okay.
He would eat a table.
No. Stop. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen A. Smith said his sources from New Orleans. Don't make me laugh. Stephen A. Smith said his sources from New Orleans reported that Zion Williamson, first off, he said they love when Zion Williamson comes to their restaurant because they know he is going to eat and eat good. So good, in fact, that he might eat the table. If you don't believe that Stephen A. Smith said that, ladies and gentlemen, I don't come ill prepared. Of course, I come prepared.
And here's who in the chef group chat?
It is shameful. You got chefs in New Orleans. I'm not exaggerating. I'm quoting people. You got chefs in New Orleans who love him. They're looking for him. Every chef there wants to meet him because they know he'll show up to their restaurant. The word out on Zion Williamson is that he'll eat the table. I'm quoting. He'll eat the table. What in the hell is going on with Zion Williamson?
Hold on. But this is where I really got to laughing. Because
Oh God.
Because two things are happening. His stomach is going one way and his behind is going the other way. As a professional athlete, that's not a good sign.
Like, that's too much.
Now, Unc and Stephen A. I hear the message y'all are trying to say.
Like, why do we have to do that?
Stomach going one way and his behind going the other. If I'm Zion, Shannon Sharp got to run me the fade just over that line. Shannon Sharp got to run me the fade.
Let me tell you something. Zion don't want to run no fade against Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp is an old black man from the South. He got that extra bit of strength. He don't want that one. He better come with a gun.
He got that outhouse strength.
Yeah. Hey, you better come with a pistol.
Stephen A. Your sources didn't say that, man.
Now that's when you run the fade. Now that you catch Stephen A. slipping.
Stephen A. Your sources didn't say that.
No, they didn't.
And if your sources did say that, you gotta if your sources say that, you gotta out your sources. Because I'm not down on that hill. Not uninvited. Nah. I'm gonna get some names off.
His source is himself.
Oh man. No. Speaking of themselves, someone who's going to be able to take care of themselves is Shohei Ohtani. Danny, I don't know if you know, but my man signed a 10-year, $700 million contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers. So when I saw that, I said, "Oh, so my man's getting paid $70 million a year to play baseball."
Nope.
Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, it was then reported about 24 hours later that Shohei Ohtani is going to actually defer up to around $680 million of his money to the next decade. What this means is he's essentially letting the Dodgers know they can wait a decade to pay him so they can pay other folks so they can make the team better so we can go out and win a World Series sooner rather than later. And then I'll come back and I'm going to get my money in blood on the back end. Let me tell you, when I look into this, and then I looked into this is how the MLB does their salary cap because they don't have the hard salary cap rule.
Nope.
I sat back and I thanked two people, Roger Goodell and Adam Silver. Thank you for the hard salary cap because in the NBA and NFL, this shit would drive me up a fucking wall. Because you know what it's essentially saying? If you're a fan of a team and their ownership does not believe in spending money, you are not going to compete. Or if you are going to compete, it's because you're going to have to develop. Who the fuck wants to do that?
All I know is those 10 years he's getting that 16 million. His permanent address is either going to be in Texas or Florida.
Oh yeah,
It will not be in California.
not with those taxes. And I think that was a reason too. I think he wanted to. No, I mean,
Yeah, that permanent address going to be in Dallas or Miami.
because he knew, he take that 70 million this year, brother. Them taxes,
You'll see 30 of it.
Yeah.
No. He said, run me all my money.
Yeah,
I live in Texas.
I live in Texas. Speaking of living, Ja Morant is fighting for his fucking life. Not on the court, but in court. There's a video surfacing of Ja Morant in court, civil suit. If y'all remember, he got in a little altercation fighting a young teenager.
Yep.
Listen, the prosecutor's defense has Ja Morant showing folks how he passes a basketball. Now, there was no sound in this, so I had to kind of create my own kind of VO what I think this might be going on. And I came to it. I'm thinking Ja Morant in there talking about some. I mean, the prosecution is in there talking about some. Do you see the force in which he passes the ball? Of course, with that much force, he can't have any regard for human life. He must have tried to kill my client. And I just know that judge is in there thinking about whatever the fuck they're about to have for lunch and probably getting ready to say, "Are y'all fucking serious right now?"
Can we talk?
This is
for
where
a
our
second
tax dollars is going to.
Can we talk about for a second how terrible food is when you're on jury duty? Like, it's awful.
I've never been on jury duty.
I have. It's terrible.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I feel like if I got sentenced to jury duty, I would be the guy that they might have to get up out of there.
Did I tell you? I told you a story when I went to jury duty and what that guy said to get out of it, and I wasn't even mad at him.
What'd he say again?
So like they ask you questions like, "Oh, do you think there's anything that makes you biased? Like you can't do it?" And one guy was like, "Yeah, I don't trust the police," and they were like, "You can go," and he left. He was like,
"Yo, I got my next line."
Yo, that man, he was like, "Yo, the police be lying," and they were like,
"Oh no, listen." They asked me, "Yo, Mr. Darius, is there anything that might prevent you from being able to serve on this?" I'm going in there yelling, "The police get away with murder!"
and they're gonna be like, "You know what? Go and have a seat, dog."
Yeah, sir. Yeah, get up out of here. Yeah.
We're done here.
All right, Danny, we can end this with some good old fashioned fantasy football talk. I think I kind of spoke my piece on it earlier. It's funny enough, of the 3 leagues that I commissioned this year, I only made the playoffs in our redraft league. I'm riding with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. I will only go as far as they'll take me. But I want to stick on the Dynasty League because we got Kyle in here. Kyle didn't make the playoffs, so congratulations after your season last year. Yep. I'm looking at my Dynasty team this year, and I can't say this year was a complete failure. I know I said that if we made the playoffs, I would look at this season as a success, but we were in it to the very last game. I can't. You know what I mean? We were in it to the very last game. So we had a chance to make the playoffs. We just couldn't get the win that we needed. I'm okay with it. Was a blowout. So yeah, I was upset with my team at kind of our final result. But when I look at the totality of the season, we had a decent season based off of where we were coming in at. We were projected to finish dead last and end up finishing 8th, I believe. Yeah. 8th, 7th, 8th, somewhere in that range. So now, Danny, similar to you, I turned my attention to our consolation bracket and the draft. I think when I look at my team and I look at my draft board, I own Bam's first round pick and I own my own second round pick. So that right there is going to be a top 4 pick in the first round and a top 4 pick in the second round. And then I own 5 third round picks. I think I'm setting myself up to maybe have a pretty good draft season. And hey, next year, I think the Horned Ducks will be back I think we'll be contending. I think next year, this is still a young team. I think there's a lot of potential. Tajay Spears, Keaton Mitchell, Jerome Ford. What's my man's name from the Bengals? Chase Brown, Devon A-Chain, George Pickens. I got my two, franchise dual quarterbacks in Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence that I play by matchup. I got Mike Evans, who's the solid vet in the locker room. I think there's some pieces here that I can really build around next year. I mean, the draft will be important. I got to hit the draft. Got to be productive in the draft. And who knows? Maybe I package up some players and some picks. Maybe try to go out and get another solid running back or another solid wide receiver. We will see. That's all I got for Dynasty. To the Horn Ducks, if you're listening, it was a good season. Proud of you guys. We'll be back next year.
Oh, you're not going to do the Horn Ducks now? That was the perfect time to do it.
Horn Ducks.
Perfect. Over here at Ronald Asley's tax return, I had missed the playoffs. I lost. No back-to-back championships for me, which is okay. I think this team is a star or two away from being true contenders. We have some quality players, some nice vets, some nice rookies, but I think they're missing, especially an elite pass catcher, right? Like I have Devontae Smith, but I need someone like a Marvin Harrison Jr. to pair with Devontae.
Do you know what's funny about MHJ? This is what I'll say. I know a lot of people have him as 101 in a lot of dynasty drafts, depending on your league.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really curious to see the destination because it will determine a lot. Marvin Harrison Jr. on the Chiefs, for example, we might be on to something. Marvin Harrison Jr. on the Patriots. I don't know if I take that 101 if like a Keon Coleman ends up on the Chiefs.
Same, but I think like Marvin Harrison
ends up on the Chiefs, or you know what I'm saying, or like Keon Coleman ends up on the Texans or a team like that, where I'm like, I find more value there. Like I could see that. So very curious to see where MHJ goes as well.
I think he's going to be a Cardinal. Like I'm kind of hoping he goes to Arizona with Kyler Murray. Now we cooking. I know for me, out of 5 fantasy leagues, I made the playoffs in 2. One is an old work league. I've been dominating all year. I expect that to continue if Tyreek is healthy. And the second one is our Superflex league. I don't have much faith. Again, I have Geno and Justin Herbert. Both are hurt. So now I'm relying on Desmond Ridder and potentially Drew Lock. That's not going to be fun. In a charity league with some friends of mine, I built my team around Justin Jefferson. So that went down the shitter as soon as he got hurt. Redraft, started off real slow, and then all of a sudden, Saquon Barkley remembered how to play football, and we've been on a bit of a streak. Now, I went from last place to the first guy out of the playoffs, which is very frustrating because that team was good if Nick Chubb didn't get hurt and Saquon remember how to play football. But that's okay because I don't have to pay the winner. I don't have to pay half of the winner's dues, and that was the goal. Like once I was eliminated, it's like, okay, I just can't finish in last place, and I did not.
It's so funny that coming into this fantasy team, the 2 teams I was most confident in did not make the playoffs, both by 1 game. 1 game. And
in Dynasty or in redraft?
In that league, the league with my college buddies, and then the league with the Superflex Dynasty League that I lost off the Titans and the Dolphins game. But both of those teams come to the season, I was like, these 2 will make. I was like, these 2 will make the playoffs.
Like our redraft league, the one you commissioned. When I drafted that team, I was like, yeah, this team. I built it around Nick Chubb and Saquon. I was like, yeah, we good. Like, and I had DeAndre bench, and I was like, yeah, it's a year-to-year thing. It's a beautiful thing.
And I would also say another reason why I'm really excited for my team is because I have a lot of players on there. Somebody like Tajay Spears, where I think next year they're going to start getting more ticks, and I think they're going to turn up. Like, it wouldn't surprise me next year if Tajay Spears like he's been turning up the last couple games, getting more and more touches. It wouldn't surprise me next year if he really turns up. And then I'm very curious to see where Devon A-Chain, what he continues to do, Keaton Mitchell, what he continues to do. Surprisingly sneaky pick that I'm going to hold on to, Chase Brown. I don't think the Bengals keep Joe Mixon much longer.
It's funny. I'm glad we did that Christian Watson trade. I really like him.
He's good. Yeah. I had to break up him and Romeo Dobbs. So,
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get someone off your team. Like me and Deontay Johnson had to get him the fuck out of my locker room. Had to get him out of my locker room.
oh, man. All right. Yeah. So, in 9 fantasy leagues, only made the playoffs in 3. There will be 3 leagues, I guess. Well, 2 of the leagues. I plan on returning to. Kyle said out of 22 leagues, he made 13. Congratulations, Kyle. That's impressive.
But Kyle, you said something egregious a couple of minutes ago.
Yes.
We can't let that slide.
This is going to be our last take, our last topic before we wrap this thing up. So, Kyle, I just wanted to let you know you're an impromptu addition to the docket. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier today in the broadcast, our good friend Kyle said, potential hot take. The Sopranos is not a good show.
What?
Kyle, you couldn't be more wrong. Sopranos is TV greatness. The blend of hard, gritty action with racism, with real life real life day-to-day parenting issues versus, mixed with drugs, sex, hookers, crime, drugs, murder, mixed with good old wholesome Americanness. One could say that The Sopranos is a depiction of American life.
For me, it's season 2 Tony and his racism to Meadows' black boyfriend. Like that whole season, every episode he had a new slur for black people, and it was hilarious.
Kyle, you haven't seen comedy until you see a man look at Uncle Ben's rice in the eyes and then pass out. He looked Uncle Ben Rice in the eyes and passed out. Come on. I might watch an episode tonight. That was comedic. That was TV gold, TV greatness. Oh. And Kyle, 2 things can be true because Breaking Bad was TV gold as well.
Yes.
Danny, let the people know where to find you, my good brother.
You can find me on X at DannyOcean41. Might go silent for the next couple of days. It's been a very busy week at work. I always say that. And then I just get on my phone and I get on Twitter and start tweeting random stuff. So, yeah, DannyOcean41. My bad. Follow the pod, _pod, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. D, where can the folks find you?
You can find me on X at LosDemix. That's LOSDEEMIX. That is also my handle on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitch. Wednesday nights, Wednesday night functions with Los Demix. I will be DJing on Instagram on Wednesday nights. So if you guys happen to be on Instagram and see me going live, hop in with me. Danny, you like that Wednesday night function? So me and my homie, who I believe he's kind of low-key turning into my manager. Anyway, I was like, I need like a name for like my night. You know what I mean? Like my type of function, to give it a name. And I was like, because in my mind I had this thing of like playing like a real disco, funk, electronic dance hall, I'm a piano type set for a night to give it a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more uppity, a little bit more joyous in the tonality, a little more upbeat. So I was like, what if I named this Funk With Me Friday? And he was like, I like it, but don't segment to a day. It's bad. So he was like, what if you just cut it and just say function, FUNK-TION.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh no, I like this. So now I was like, okay, I like function. I could do function. So now, then I was thinking, then my marketing brain went off. I was like, oh, there's different ways you can flip it. When I DJ on Wednesday night on Instagram, Wednesday night function. If I do when I start throwing parties with function in it, we were like, we got to make everyone themed. So you can have like disco night function, I don't know, masquerade function, stuff like that. Or then if it's just a regular night, I'm just playing stuff, function.
I like it. Trademark that.
So I'm working through it, but you know what I mean? I'm thinking over here. Trying to do something, man. Trying to do something. Man. That name really functions, D. God. When I smoke my black and mild after this, I'm gonna be laughing at that comment for a while. That's pretty hilarious. Danny, before we get out of here,
Yes, sir.
I like doing this where I play something that I've been vibing to. So today, on my music exploration, as I've been searching for stuff, I was in the 90s.
Okay.
Right? I was in the 90s and I was messing around with a lot of like New Jack Swing type of beats from the 90s. And I've been listening to this for a lot of today. You remember back in the day, Guy, the group Guy?
Yes.
So you remember this song?
Yes.
Groove Me. I've been listening to this all day. Ladies and gentlemen, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with us, and all we can do is thank you throughout what you do for the next couple of days, the next 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. Make sure you speak on it. Life is interesting. It has its ups, it has its downs. Sometimes a motherfucker will try you even in the workplace. We must keep calm, we must keep our cool, and we must remember to speak on it because it's going to be all right. Thank y'all for showing up. Y'all have a blessed night.